Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to have a fun lesson. We're going to talk about the word OPA. I'm sure most of you have heard it before, but are you sure you know everything about it? Are you sure you know all the occasions where the word OPA can be used? Let's check together. Of course you've heard the word OPA in many Greek occasions where people use it when they dance or they're having fun with music, traditional Greek music, and everything is amazing and you just need to express that somehow. So I won't talk about it that much. I just want to confirm that of course you can use it when you dance. Of course you can use it when you don't dance, when someone else dances, or when no one dances, you just really like the song. It's most common with Greek songs, but of course you can say it with any song you like. No one will judge you for that. But now let's move on to a different situation. And this situation does not involve any kind of dancing, singing, having fun, going out with friends. It's just a regular day in Greece. How else would you use the word OPA? Have you ever heard it being used in a different way? That would be interesting to read in the comments. The first case where we can use OPA, apart from dancing, is of course when we're surprised. OPA, τι είναι αυτό? Imagine a situation where you're just hanging with your friends and suddenly an unidentified object appears in the sky. You could definitely say, Όπα, τι είναι αυτό? Κοιτάξτε! Whoa, what is this? Look! Of course, it doesn't have to be a UFO to use OPA. You can say it for smaller things, such as an insect that came out of nowhere or anything else that might have surprised you. And it can be used when the surprise is very pleasant, very impressive. You're surprised and impressed at the same time. So it's a mixture of surprise and admiration even. So let's imagine that you're browsing in a shop with your friend and suddenly you find the perfect pair of shoes and you tell your friend, Όπα, τι είναι αυτό? And of course, you just buy it. Another very common use of the word OPA, one of the most common, but with several variations, is the meaning of stop. You can just say OPA and mean stop. Of course, as you can imagine, this is not an official word, so you will not hear that from a police officer or some person you don't know. You have to be familiar with that person to use this word. Or if someone uses it with you and you don't know who they are, of course it means that they're not very polite. However, I'm not saying that you should be, of course, offended if someone uses the word OPA and you're not very familiar with them. It depends on many different factors, such as their educational level, the occasion, or even their place of origin. So just chill and read the room. A good example of that is driving. When you're trying to park your car in a very narrow space or between cars, then someone might offer to help you. And believe me, when it's time to stop, they're not going to tell you, oh, please stop now. They're probably going to use the word OPA. So you might hear something like this. Έλα, 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 OPA. We're still in the stop spectrum, but this time we're having a discussion with our friend or anyone, and at some point we disagree with what they're saying. In this case, we may use the word OPA. Όπα, όπα, τι είναι αυτά που λες? Όπα, όπα, τι λες? It's a much more familiar way to say, let me stop you right there. As you may have suspected already, I would not use it with someone I'm not familiar with. It may even imply some kind of annoyance, so be careful when you use it. Similarly, it can be used in a sarcastic way. So if someone says, I just won an Oscar, or I just found 2 million euros in the street, and of course you know they're lying or exaggerating, you can say OPA re megale. That implies, who do you think you're fooling? Are you kidding me? Do you want me to believe this? If you ask me, it is a mixture of stop and a sarcastic use of the surprise meaning. The word megale means literally, in this case at least, big guy. In the vocative case, that means that we address someone directly, and as you can imagine, it is slang. And since we haven't talked about it yet, don't forget that the word re is not polite at all, so just avoid it. And now let's move on to something more playful. OPA can be used when talking to children, especially babies. When you dandle a baby or when you play with a baby and, move it up and down, you can playfully say OPA, OPA, OPA. In the same playful sense, you can also use the word opala. It would sound something like opala. And you could even hear opalakia, which is the same thing but more childish. With a slightly different sense, you can use opa, opala, or opalakia when doing something that requires some little effort. This can be putting the baby in the crib, or even with things that have nothing to do with babies. For example, when you lift something heavy and you finally put it down, you can say opa or opalakia, and it's an expression of relief in a way. Another occasion when you can hear the word OPA is when someone trips or almost falls down or even falls. It's almost like an automatic reaction when someone has these small everyday accidents, and of course you can even say it to yourself. So that was it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not one of my usual videos, of course. It is a bit different and special because it contains more cultural information than linguistic, I would say. And needless to say that you don't have to actually use OPA yourself if you find it difficult or it's not an automatic reaction, but it's useful to know when someone uses the word OPA, what they could mean. It is indeed a very interesting word because, as you probably have noticed, it can be used in very different aspects of everyday life, and it can express many different feelings, from sarcasm and annoyance to playfulness and relief. And of course, the examples of this lesson are just a very, very small part of what OPA can be used for. Don't forget to let me know in the comments how many of the uses of OPA that we presented in this lesson you already knew. Until next time, subscribe, like my videos, leave your comment, and study Greek. Bye bye!